Cimoooooooo!
What's going on, guys? It's Cimo, and today I'm going to teach you about card anatomy. Now, before we get into the basics on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's really important to first know how to read and identify the contents of each card. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of different elements that make up just a single card alone, but let's go ahead and break it down. First off is the card's name. This is essentially how you identify each card. Some cards may have varying artwork for the same card, but the name will always remain consistent. Sometimes you might see a card's name appear inside quotation marks within another card's effect. The name inside the quotation marks is referring to that specific card. Now, most players will shorthand names when talking about specific cards, referring to Blue Eyes White Dragon as Blue Eyes, or Breaker the Magical Warrior as Breaker, so if you're ever confused about what card someone is referring to, it's always okay to ask for clarification. Now, next up is Attribute. An attribute is an elemental characteristic that helps diversify different monsters. There are 7 different attributes: Fire, Water, Earth, Wind, Light, Dark, and Divine. Attributes are important because some cards synergize with monsters that have specific attributes. For example, let's take a look at the equipped spell card Shine Palace. It reads, equip only to a light monster. It gains 700 attack. So simply put, if the monster is light, then it is a valid target for Shine Palace. Next up is Level. A monster's level is equal to the number of stars depicted on the card. Level is important for several different reasons that we'll cover later on, but the main reason is summoning. I've mentioned previously that each player is only allowed to normal summon or set one monster per turn. To normal summon or set a monster, that monster needs to have a level of 4 or lower to be able to be normal summoned or set. Now, monsters with level 5 or 6 require one monster already on your field to be tributed and sent to the graveyard to be normal summoned or set. And monsters of level 7 or higher require 2 monsters to be tributed. This type of normal summoning is called tribute summoning, and we'll cover it in greater detail later on. Next up is Type. Similar to a monster's attribute, Type is another unique characteristic that helps diversify different monsters. There are over 20 different types, ranging from Dragon to Divine Beast. As another example, let's take a look at the equipped spell card Dragon Treasure. It reads, a Dragon-type monster equipped with this card increases its attack and defense by 300 points. So again, similar to attributes and Shine Palace, if the monster meets the criteria of the valid type, then it is a valid target. Next up is Card Description. Now, the card description is where you will find the special abilities or effects of most cards. Normal monsters do not have any effect at all, and instead have flavor text to describe the card's narrative. This doesn't have any effect on the gameplay whatsoever. However, mostly all other cards will have an effect written in this area that does affect gameplay. Next up, we have attack and defense points. Now, these values are used to calculate a monster's strength in battle. I briefly explained how attack and defense points are used in battle in the video How to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! In 3 minutes, and we'll cover combat a lot more in depth later on. So if you need a quick reference, be sure to go back and check out that video. And finally, we have Card Border. Now, card border is the color surrounding a majority of the card and is used to quickly identify different types of cards. Now, there are several different card borders, and we'll go into greater detail regarding each of these later on. But for now, the primary card borders you should familiarize yourself with are light tan for normal monsters, orange for effect monsters, green for spell cards, and purple for trap cards. Speaking of spell and trap cards, these cards also have very similar card anatomy to monsters, but are much simpler to understand. For instance, spell and trap cards do not have a level, type, or attack and defense values. They have a name, attribute, which is either spell or trap, depending on the card, and a card description. One unique aspect to spell and trap cards is the icon, which indicates varying types of spells and trap cards. And we'll be covering these subtypes of spell and trap cards later on as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment on card anatomy. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth videos on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Cimoooooooo!